Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm Jean-Pierre Muhin. Today we are going to run the second lesson of our free Forex courses. Let's see each other after the intro. Thank you. Before we go to the second lesson of our free Forex courses, let's do a quick recap on what we have learned on the first course. In the first course, we have learned what is the Forex, where we have seen that the Forex stands for foreign exchange, which consists of trading one currency to another. We have seen that the Forex market, it is not very recent or yesterday business, and we have seen that it has been there for a long time ago, and it has left a tremendous strong marks like the World Bank and the IMF as we know it today. We have also seen the big price of the Forex market, where banks are at the core center of the Forex market. The market makers, the hedge funds, big commercial companies, and the retailers or speculators like you and me who are speculating in the market just to make a profit from this huge business. In general, this is what you have learned in the previous episode. Today, we're going to start our episode with advantage of a Forex market. Forex market, it is a market with no commission when it's traded. It means that once you have an account, you are free to trade. You don't need to pay any commission to start trading. Another advantage of Forex market is that it has no fixed lot size. Contrary to the futures, where, for example, they require you to have a certain limit of amount to trade the asset. For Forex market, there is no fixed lot size. You can trade as small as a mini lot size while trading. Forex market has a low, very low transaction costs, because most FTMO brokers get only the money from the spreads. Another advantage of Forex market is that it is open 24 hours, 5 days a week. It is another advantage, a very huge advantage, because anytime through the weekdays you can trade. Another advantage, it is leverage. Leverage, we will see in details what is leverage, but this is the power which you can get from Forex market, which enables us to control a big amount of money with a minimum capital. Let's say, for example, if there is a broker who's a leverage of 1/5, 1/100, for example. This means that you can control, if you have a deposit of 1,000 account, you can control an amount of 100,000 US dollar and make a good profit. This is a very huge advantage which we can get only from Forex market. Another advantage is that Forex is the biggest market in the world. Currently, it is trading about $60.6 trillion every day. So this is a very big advantage, because every time you go to the market, you will find someone to buy from, and if you wanted to sell, you will just get anyone to buy your money. It's a matter of clicking on the market and you are done. Another advantage of Forex market is that there are low barriers to entries. Nowadays, you can even trade as small as possible as $10 to make a profit from Forex market. These are the advantages of Forex market. And the last one is that there are many free educational materials for Forex trading. For example, this one you are presenting right now, it is offered to you free of charge. You can even get more educational materials online free of charge. Let's continue our session today on the Forex market hours. We have mentioned during the advantages of Forex market that the Forex is already open. It's open 24 hours a day and 5 days a week, from Monday to Friday night. And this is allows anybody from the world to trade anytime. But the Forex market being open 24 hours doesn't mean that in every area the sessions are open. We have 4 major sessions worldwide which enable us to trade Forex market. The session 1, it is the Sydney sessions and the Tokyo sessions, London session and New York session. Let's take the 24 hours of a day and see how this market works. The session 1, which opens before everyone, it is the Sydney sessions. It's usually open around 11-10 p.m. depending on the time saving time. And 2 hours after the Sydney sessions is open, the Tokyo sessions open immediately. And 2 hours before the Tokyo session open, the London session open. And the New York sessions opens before the London session opens. Why do we need to know these market hours? And in Forex, to be profitable, the market, even though it works 24 hours, 5 days, doesn't mean that the market moves all the time. There is times when the market tends to be like it is stopping, and this depends on what we call volume. And volume. So for the retail traders, we need to trade when there is a huge volume so that we may make profit from the first market easily. And this period, it is between the overlap of London and New York sessions. As a retail trader, if you wanted to make money, you should know that big transaction will happen between the London sessions and the New York session. That is the main reason why we have to know these first market hours. As a trader, independent on where you are, at least if you wanted to make money, you have to trade in the London session to New York sessions, because these are the reading countries or leading currencies worldwide. I hope you understand the reason behind of this market, first market hours. Let's continue to the next course. In the next course, we are going to see what is currency. In Forex, we trade the currency, and we have seen that the Forex is just a foreign exchange where we trade one currency against another. So let's see what is currency. Currency, in general, it is a system of money which a country, any particular country uses. This is what we call a currency. So every country worldwide has its individual currency. Currencies are listed with 3 letters, usually. And the first 2 letters of the currency identify the name of the country which is using this currency. And the third letter identifies the name of the country's currency which is using. Let's see an example of currency. For example, when you write USD, USD, for example. You see we have the letter 1, letter 2, letter 3. This is US, these first two letters indicated the United States. It means that we are we are identifying the currency of the United States. The first letter is D, and it is dollar. This clearly means that United States is using dollar as currency. We do this because there are several common currencies, but to identify them and to differentiate them from, we have to include the country which is using this currency. Another example is the USD. The two first letters A and U, it stands for Australia, and D, it is dollar. You see, both United States and Australia, they use dollars, but these two currencies, to differentiate these two dollars, you have to include the name of the country which is using a particular dollar. United States dollar and the Australian dollar. Another example is the Rwandan franc. The Rwandan francs, the first two letters indicated that we are talking about the currency which Rwanda is using, which is Rwanda, and we are using the franc. Another example is Swiss francs, where the two first letters indicate that this is the currency of Swiss, and the Swiss it is using franc. Generally, this is how we write the currencies. We always write them with three letters. Two first letters indicating the country which is using the currency, and the third letter, the currency which we are highlighting. So these are the examples of Forex currencies, but there are many currencies which are used all around the world, and as you will be continuing to run the Forex market, and as you will be using the Forex, you will get familiar with them. Let's see the major currencies which are used around the world. There are 8 major currencies which are used around the world. And to make things easy for you, we have classified them depending on the regions. Let's start from America. In America, there are 2 major currencies which are used. And let's know that these currencies are used depending on the economy and the economical power of a particular country in the world. The currency number 1, it is the currency for United States of America, which we call USD. And the second one is the Canada or Canadian dollar, which is for Canada. In Europe, there are 3 major currencies. One which is for Eurozone, we call it Euro. The England or Great Britain, and that's why you see here GB, which is stand for Great Britain pound. So the England is using the pound. The third one is the Swiss francs. Here. For Asia, we have Japan. That is the stronger currency, which we call major currency in Asia, which will be dealing with. And for Oceania, we have Australian dollar, which is the currency for Australia, and the New Zealand dollar, which is the currency for New Zealand. These are the 8 major currencies which are used in Forex market, and they are most traded currencies around the world in Forex. And in our trading, will be focused much on these currencies because since they have a great and strong currencies worldwide, they provide good liquidity on the market. So let's continue with currency pairs. Why currency pair? Now we know that the Forex consists of trading one currency against to another, which means that we need to combine two currencies to make in order to do forex. So currency pair is a quotation of two different currencies with the value of one currency being quoted against another one, and the currency pairs compares the value of one currency to another. Let's take an example of this pair here, and note that we can write this pair like this: Euro USD without this slash. It is also possible. So the first currency here, we call it base currency, and the second currency we call it quote currency, and this value of the quote we call it a quote. Note that the base currency, it is always equal to 1. This clearly means that if you want €1, if you want to buy €1, you will have to pay $1.10986 US. Otherwise, it means that if you also want to sell €1, you will get 1.10986 US dollars. So this is how we write a code for a currency pair code, and its value. I hope you got it and you understand it. There are categories, different categories of forex currency pairs, and let's see the main three ones. So the number one we call majors or major currency pairs. The second one is cross currency pairs, or we call them also minors or crosses. And the third category of currency pairs, we call them exotic currency pairs. Let's see in details what is the majors, minor, and exotic currency pair. Major currency pairs are pairs that are formed by comparing different major currencies. Note that we are comparing all the major currencies against the US dollar. These pairs we get, we call them major currency pairs, or simply majors. There are 7 currency pairs, major currency pairs. Number one, it is GBP USD, Euro USD, OD USD, New Zealand USD, USD Swissie, USD CAD, and USD Japan yen. These are the 7 major currency pairs, the most traded currency pairs on the world. And write them like this. Don't be confused. You see that there are 4 pairs where USD it is the base currency, and 3 currency pairs where USD is the base currency. So don't be confused. This is an international standard. We have to take them like they are. But currently there is some platform which offers USD GBP, but the most common used worldwide it is GBP USD in this form. So, and these are the forms which we will be using mostly in our next courses. Next is the crosses or minors, which are the cross currency pairs. The cross currency pairs are the pairs which we get by combining 2 major currencies excluding the United States dollars. So, for example, if we combine Great Britain pound or GBP CAD with the Canadian dollar, we get a pair which we call GBP CAD. You see, Great Britain pound and the Canadian dollar, they are both currencies pairs, and they do not include United States dollar, and that's why we call it a major close currency pair or minor currency pair. Let's continue to the last category for our currency pairs, and we call it exotic currency pairs. We call them exotic currency pairs because it is the pairs we get by comparing the major currencies with emerging economy currencies such as Brazil, Mexico, Chile, Turkey, Hungary, Russia, Mexico, Norway, Denmark, something like that, and we call them exotic pairs. So some of the examples of these exotic currency pairs are United States dollar with South African rand, euro with Turkish lira, United States with Norwegian kroner, United States with Mexican pesos, United States with Norwegian kroner, United States with Singapore dollar, and there are many. And as we move on with our courses, we will be running these currency pairs. Let's also winding up our lesson of today here. And if you wanted to know more details about these currency pairs, the advantage of Forex, market fluctuations, currencies, and the major currencies, please visit our website www.ultimatetraders.rw, and please don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and share this episode to your friends and family so that you will be notified when the second course, the next course is released. Thank you very much, and ciao.